it's a reality, I suppose, that we have to deal with. And even with us, you know, we send our cattle up to Gingin to be processed, then back to Perth, and then sometimes that meat comes back down south again, and it's kind of crazy. We just have to live with the fact that we have to, you know, transport food a fair distance to market because of how we process. You know, we don't have an abattoir just down the road that we can deal with. We don't necessarily have the processing facilities just down the road. You know, we just don't have that population close to us that cuts those food miles down. I think it's important that the supply chain, yeah, definitely stays local. I mean, I couldn't see a point where we would be processing, say, offshore and then bringing it back on shore again. Particularly with us, you know, to take one of these cows and process it and put a steak on somebody's plate is a really expensive thing to do. We are constantly dealing with costs and cost rises. And myself as a farmer, going through this whole process and basically taking our product from paddock to plate, you get a really good understanding of those costs. And in the past, you know, we'd walk into a butcher shop and you'd see, you know, fillet steak for $45 or $50 a kilo, and you go, oh, you know, those butchers, how can they be selling it for that much? They must be making a fortune. We're not getting anywhere near that. And you generally don't get an appreciation of what's actually involved to get that product to that butcher shop or to that retail space or to that restaurant. We need to, first of all, demand a premium out of the market to support us as a business, otherwise we won't be here. Part of our branding and our marketing and telling the story of what we do, and being a bloody good product as well, allows us to demand that premium out of the market. We sort of fell into producing our own beef, and that sort of came along as a bit of an accident, really, and that was just through some friends of ours trying our beef and saying, well, this is amazing, we can't buy beef like this, you know, you should start selling it, blah, 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 blah. So one thing led to another, and here we are today. Cows are meant to eat grass, and you can see the cows behind us. They're all standing there, or most of them are standing there happily chewing away on their cud. Now, cows have 4 stomachs. Why do they have 4 stomachs? Because if we were to go and eat that grass, we wouldn't do very good on it because we don't have a stomach to break that grass down. So the cows have 4 stomachs to break that grass down and get as many of those nutrients and the goodness out of the grass as possible. So that's the number one thing I'll say. Cows are meant to eat grass, or cows are not designed to eat grain. So in that sense, it's not a natural diet to them. So what we do when we feed cows grain is we are manipulating that animal to be able to eat the grain. In a grass-finished animal, and these are studies that have been done in the States, the omega-3, omega-6 fat ratio is at pretty much an optimum level. So you've got a good amount of omega-3 fats in there with a balanced amount of omega-6 fats. When you grain feed an animal, you feed animal grain, you actually alter that balance within that animal. So you end up with a higher proportion of omega-6 fats compared to omega-3s, and in some cases you actually completely destroy the omega-3 fat content. Humans are now getting completely out of whack with their omega-3 and omega-6 fat levels. So it's creating all sorts of health issues, obesity, you know, obviously heart disease, diabetes, all these health related problems, and a lot of that can be related back to the fats that people are eating.